But I kept asking him, are you infallible? Do you have perfect theology? And my point was to make, as soon as he would affirm that he's not infallible, that he's sure to at least hold one false theological belief, then that means that God causally determines James White to affirm a false theological belief. Yeah, so Dr. White made the comment shortly after that micromanaging comment that he said mankind is not that simple. But it seems to me if all we are is a causally determined passive cog at the mercy of the whims of a deity, then that is a simple view. It seems to me. It seems. Yeah. What do you think?
So this was something. First of all, it seems like the Calvinist view is simpler, less complex, because it lacks human freedom, right? It lacks libertarian freedom. Mm-hmm. So it's lacking something that Molinism has.
Yeah.
But on another point, here's where I think it's very important to distinguish what a view claims versus what it implies.
Yeah.
White wants to claim that humans are not, that on Molinism, the view of humans is simple, and that God's sovereignty does not, according to the Westminster Confession, London Baptist Confession, that God's sovereignty and causation does not violate the liberty and contingency of secondary causes. So he wants to push back against Dr. Craig on that score, but it is what his view implies. It is determinism. And so it's very difficult to see how liberty and contingency are not violated on determinism, even though that is his claim. So most of the people that I saw watching the stream and commenting were noting that he didn't really answer Dr. Craig's questions about whether or not God is actually causing people to will the way that they do, including their evil intentions and evil desires. He didn't straightforwardly answer that. And I think that's because if he's going to be consistent, it's going to look really bad. He's going to have to say that, yes, God is the mover of people's wills. And he'll say something like, because of his good purposes or his good intentions or whatever. But that does fall victim to exactly what Dr. Craig was saying, that it makes God the author of evil in a theologically objectionable sense.
Right. And that's something else that came up in my Twitter exchange with Dr. White. So he is affirming this exhaustive divine determinism or universal divine determinism. And I said, okay, well, if this Ed view is true, then I said, every time God causally determines a person to affirm a false theological belief, it's impossible for this person in the actual world to infer a better or true theological belief. And then I asked him, I kept asking him, and I didn't see him ever answer this question. I might have missed it. Maybe he did. But I kept asking him, are you infallible? Do you have perfect theology? And my point was to make, as soon as he would affirm that he's not infallible, that he's sure to at least hold one false theological belief, then that means that God causally determines James White to affirm a false theological belief. And if that's the case, then how would White be in a position to know which of his beliefs are good and which ones are incorrect, in which he's affirming? So there's just a lot of problems there. And ultimately, that would make God not just the author of evil, but a deity of deception, especially since no human holds, no human is infallible, holding no false theological beliefs. At least I'm not willing to say that I have perfect theology. I try really hard, but surely I get some things wrong. So yeah, I think once we start going down the avenue of Ed, there's a whole bunch of problems that will expose themselves.